There are several reasons the company would issue these stock options to their employees, especially the executive employees. And one is to give the employees something long term to shoot for in aligning their goals of the organization with the goals of the individual. And these stock options also are meant as a tool to keep these employees around for a long time. So it's not like this is a one-time deal where we're just giving you a bonus or something. So most stock options will have this vesting period, or what we call a service period. So when the employee is hired and they're given these stock options, they can't just cash out right away and leave and quit and go find another company to work for. So the vesting period typically indicates that you can't exercise the options until the vesting period is over, or also if you quit or you're fired and the vesting period has already come to fruition, you get to keep those things, so they don't just evaporate. And so I say all of that for a very specific reason, and that is we calculated this compensation expense in the last requirement of $80 million. And the idea of the compensation expense is, when do we then recognize that as an expense? And the answer is, it is amortized and pushed to an expense account over the service period or the vesting period. And so in this problem, we're told that they expire 8 years from now, but that the vesting period is for 4 years from now. And that's also the service period. And so the way I got the 4 years is it's 2016 when we issue those, and it's the end of 2019 when they're fully vested. So those 4 years are the period over which the $80 million will be recognized as an expense. So logically, at the end of each year, we're going to take and we're going to recognize compensation expense. Even though no cash is changing hands, we're going to take 1/4 of the 80 million, which is 20 million, because 1/4 represents the 1 out of the 4 years it's going to take to vest. And we debit compensation expense, and we credit this paid-in capital for a stock option account. So this is an equity account. So no cash changes hands, and we are recognizing the compensation and pushing it right to an equity account. So this entry here happens over and over and over and over until the options are fully vested. And in this case, this entry would be made at the end of 2016, it'd be made at the end of 2017, 2018, and 2019. So by the end of 2019, you're going to have an equity account called paid-in capital stock option. Let me just write that quick, if I could spell. And you're going to, every time you record this entry, you're going to you're going to credit this equity account for the 20 million. So you'd have 20 million for the first year, 20 million for the second year, 20 million for the third year, and 20 million for the fourth year. So at the end of the vesting period, you have $80 million sitting in the paid-in capital account, and the options haven't been exercised yet, but we have fully recognized the options in our as an expense, and they've hit our income statement and those corresponding